What's up, guys? Ian Sandusky from Lakewood Machine and Tool back here again for Practical Machinists as we continue our live coverage of IMTS 2024. Now I have something a little different for you that you probably won't expect. I'm here with Magnus from Sandvik.
Hi,
now
nice
Magnus,
to meet you.
You're the head of strategy and sustainability. What does that mean as a title?
Well, it is what it says. You know, I work with our corporate strategy, but I also look after our sustainability efforts nowadays at Sandvik.
And I gotta say, Sandvik, to my knowledge, or Sandvik, I've used them quite a bit, but as a cutting tool manufacturer. And at this booth, I'm not seeing any cutting tools. What's that all about?
No, you're right. The closest thing to cutting tools are the what we have on the tables, the Cs. You know, that's the only steel you will see. So Sandvik, we are back here. You know, we are not displaying together with the cutting tool manufacturers in the other hall. We have been out of that for some time, and we decided to come back here. The Sandvik product and offering has always been the hardware and the yellow coat. And today we're here with the yellow coats.
Correct.
So it's all about the knowledge and experience that we can bring to our customers and partners.
And that's the thing, you know, it's a very identifiable thing to have the yellow coats, but that yellow coat, you guys don't just give them away. What does that really signify to you guys?
You know, yellow is a signal color on its own, but you know, it's all this worked up knowledge and experience that we have, and with all our application specialists. So what we're doing here during the show is that we have invited customers to come here to talk about future projects, be it turnkey or machine investment, or just looking at part processing. So we can assemble a team of specialists and go over that and, you know, get them started.
So even though Sandvik specializes in the cutting tool, you guys will actually recommend what machine to buy, how to put it in, like you say, a turnkey. You know, I have this part, I want to make 10,000 of them. You guys will say, okay, here's how we can do that sustainably, here's how we can get the best performance out of it, right from beginning to end.
Yeah. And absolutely, and you know, we are agnostic with the machine tool builders, so we can talk about what type of machines, what setup, and what you need.
Right.
And then, of course, we can also bring in other partners for the other components that are needed.
It's quite interesting because you look at this booth, and for the triumphant return, I really like you guys are doing something a little different. Mm-hmm. But this booth, besides just having the theme of the yellow coats and the expertise, I do see there's a little something else going on here.
There is, and we have packaged what we call very good habits into a concept that we call manufacturing wellness.
And manufacturing wellness is definitely something I haven't heard talked about much. What does that mean to you guys?
Come on, let's walk over and I want to talk to you.
That's the only reason we just don't want to saturate.
So on all of these interactive displays, we have like a summary of manufacturing wellness.
Right.
And manufacturing wellness is about no less than 8 good habits, as we talk about. And it's nothing new. One by one, you could say, well, this is just good practice. But to package them together as 8, that's what we call manufacturing wellness. And we see that companies that adopt as many as possible of these, they have business resilience, and they are thriving, and they're moving forward.
And what are those 8 factors?
So a quick overview then. Yeah. First, we talk about taking the holistic perspective. You know, cutting tool suppliers like us, we have had the tendency always to go into the machine, perhaps focus on operation 30, feeds and speeds and details. Now we say, let's take a step back. Let's look at the whole value chain at the customer, because the issues in operation 30 might come from the design.
Fair
right?
enough.
So that's what is a good habit. Then we talk about embracing technology, and specifically embracing the technology advancements that the cutting tool suppliers are bringing in.
Right.
But today, a cutting tool is more than just carbide and steel.
Right.
You can see that we have also developed a lot of methods how you apply the tool, and we also package that method in software applications. So today, it's more than just the carbide and the steel.
Right.
So embracing that, we see the ones that manage to implement it, they get the advantages as well. And then we have the sustainability aspect. We talk about choosing the sustainable path, of course, as often as possible. And actually, sustainability is quite, it's a double click. So we should do that in a separate section when we can do that. But what we see is we can help and assist our customers with towards their net zero commitments and also circularity.
And that's a very big thing these days. All these companies are making it. It's nice to make that commitment, but actually implementing it and drilling down on how do we do that. It's a tall order.
It is, and we can do a few things, and not the least, we can prep our products, our offerings, so that we can supply our customers with the right information and data.
And I have a feeling that the recommendations you make on that are things that Sandvik Coromant has already done for themselves.
Exactly, it's the two sides of the coin. When it comes to net zero, Sandvik Group, we have signed up to the Science-Based Target Initiative, so we have to do all of that ourselves as well. And then we talk about something that was the hype curve about 10-15 years ago, which is eliminating waste, right? Of course, you know, it was a big lean wave going through the industry in about 10 years ago.
I still have a little PTSD from those days.
Yeah, and so, you know, that's always about, it's a habit. Always look for, you know, where do we generate scrap? I mean, how can we reduce that? What's the issue? And also, waste can be bottlenecks that we have, because it stops up the flow that you have in your workshop. Moving on, we talk about unlocking the potential of data. As we see here at the show, you know, our customers have an extremely data-rich environment.
Absolutely.
If you think about the machine tools and the auxiliaries, they generate a lot of data. So the ones that are successful, we see they go on a journey where they start to get the fundamentals in place and then advance.
Right.
And this is also an area where we are complementing our offer with some software applications to help them to do that. And then we talk about benefiting from strong partners. This arena that we have here, not only is it data rich, but you can also see that it's starting to become quite complex.
Right.
It's not only about the machine tool, it's also IT environments, etc. We cannot give all the solutions as Sandvik Coromant.
Of course.
So we need to team up so that sometimes, together with partners, we can give a more comprehensive solution to the customer. And then we have the people and the skills gap aspect.
Right.
Since I'm test 2022, the number one thing that all customers has brought up with me is, you know, we can't find people.
Labor shortage of skilled
Yes,
help.
and the sad thing is what they say is, you know, we can't find them, and that's the number one reason why I can't continue to grow my business. And then finally, we talk about automate for success, and this is one of the trends that you see in action here this week at the show.
Everywhere.
So many of the builders, you know, they have workpiece automation solutions that they showcase. So take all of this together, you know, that's what we call manufacturing wellness.
This is a very interesting approach. You know, you guys keep talking about holistic. This is the holistic picture, and it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you generate a lot of data but you don't know how to do anything with it, it's useless. If you're not developing your people, well, I guess you're not really going to be embracing new technology. If you're not focusing on automation, well, you know, it's difficult that way. These things all do kind of tie together.
Yep.
Now, I do want to kind of double click on that sustainability. You said there was a little bit more of an initiative with that.
Sandvik, we are a division within the Sandvik Group, so you know there's also a framework that we need to stick to. But at Sandvik, we have actually expanded what our sustainability shift means.
Okay.
So we talk about taking solutions to our customers. That's the outbound part. We have net zero, of course. It's about CO2 emissions, greenhouse gases. And then we talk about circularity, and you know, ultimately that is about being landfill free as a business operator.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have the 456 is a little bit more related to where we operate.
Right.
We talk about environmental ecosystems. You know, we have manufacturing plants in all over the world.
You guys have very large plants all over the world.
So, and you know, where you operate, it's much more interest and demands on how we operate that. And then we have parts related to how we do our business.
Right.
So responsible business, we call that aspect. And finally, it's also where we operate. We talk about people and communities. So that's the total framework, and of course we have set goals, and you know we have action plans within all 6 of those, even on division level.
It's really inspiring to see because, you know, like we said at the beginning of this, cutting tool manufacturers, you don't usually hear them talking about sustainability. You don't hear them talking about people. You hear about, we added one more flute to this cutter, would you like to buy it?
Yeah.
You know, so seeing that you guys are really focusing on the people for this event, I think was a brilliant move. And of course, if people would like to come by, do you still have appointments available with your yellow coats?
Absolutely.
People can come by to the East Hall, South Hall.
South Hall.
We're in the South Hall.
Yep.
Make sure you guys come by. They will be here the remainder of the week. Thank you very much for joining us today. And if people want to learn more about Sandvik Coromant, where can they go?
www.sandvikcoromant.com.
And make sure you guys stay tuned as we continue our live coverage of IMTS 2024. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You take care.